So Portugal winning 3 goals to 0. So how do you see that game? Cristiano Ronaldo didn't score again in that game. Is it because that the team is not playing for Cristiano Ronaldo, even though he got an assist? Is it that the team setup is not good for him now? So now, is it because is it that the setup is not good for him to score goals, or because he has changed position, he's not playing as a target man, he's not getting enough services, he's not scoring goals?
Well, first of all, I'll start with an apology, a big apology to all the Portuguese and Cristiano Ronaldo fans. I said on Saturday that Turkey has more than it takes to deal with them. But man, that guy is something else. Even if he doesn't get on the score sheet, he gets on the assist board. You see him create chances. You see those runs he's making. And I know Godwin will crucify the coach, Martinez, dominant in midfield. They had great chances created. So I'm not going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo so far.
I just want to
apologize. I just want to apologize first. The guy get assist. The midfield even beats. Oh, I don't know what the Turkish midfield was thinking, but they were outclassed. They were outplayed. And it was just all attack, no defense. For me, that was what I felt. But with all their defensive mindset and all their attacking prowess, they get a chance against the Portuguese side. And the 41-year-old man keeps to surprise me. He just keeps surprising everybody he comes across with. And I don't know, but I think the formation, we've only talked about formation. I think it's a two-man forward.
It changed the formation.
It changed the formation, but one thing we don't understand is it's a two-man forward. It's Rafael Leao and Cristiano Ronaldo up front. Bernardo Silva is joining the midfield.
Yeah, but
so for me now, it's
we're talking about the formation now only in the sense that we have 4 players at the back rather than 3, which they had used earlier on.
See, look at it in either ways. They have always had 4 at the back. Nunes on the left, Nuno Mendes on the left, Joao Cancelo on the right. Somebody will join to midfield to play defensive midfield. That's what that's been like. That's what the formation has been. So when they go on the progressive attack, when they go on the attack, you see 3 men in the back. You would always see, whenever they are attacking, you always see 3 at the back. And maybe what it looks on paper is not reflecting what it is on pitch, but whenever they are on the attack, you will see a 3-man remain back. Pepe, Ruben Diaz, and Nuno Mendes. But when they are defending, Joao Cancelo is coming back, and maybe this person is falling to midfield, or perhaps he's falling to midfield and Joao Cancelo is falling. What's it called? Dalot is falling back and Joao Cancelo is coming to midfield. But yesterday you saw a different style of play. It was a 2-man front. If you look at the formation so far, you only see 2 players up front, Rafael Leao and Ronaldo, with Bruno Fernandes coming in to play a false 9. That was where he met that cross from Ronaldo and perhaps slotted it in beautifully.
The thing about this Portuguese team, we were saying last week that they needed to change something in that team. And probably the coach had us. I decided to change the formation. Decided to play the 4-man at the back, at the back, and other attacker, which worked. What we are saying. So do you think that this is how they should be going throughout this tournament, or should he reverse what he was doing?
For me, I think this is the way they should go forward in this tournament. Let's not forget that adding Palhinha to the already potent mix of Bruno Fernandes and then Vitinha in the midfield too. Is a good blend. It's giving that team a bit more stability because Palhinha drops back into the box and then frees up those 2 to go forward to go do what they're doing. And then credible credits to Bernardo Silva too for being able to bring in that threat down the flanks. So for me, this is the formation they should use going forward, and they should now consolidate on this performance. But let's not forget that Turkey were without the talisman in the starting lineup. They dropped Gula and they brought in somebody else.
He was dropped. You can't call him a talisman if he was dropped.
I don't know why people keep calling a 19-year-old a talisman. He plays bench for his club side.
Yeah.
If you
talk about
talisman in a team, you talk about a player that could go on to be a world class and starts for his club so far. You talk about talisman, you talk about Yamil Lamar, Nico Williams, Musiala. These are people that you know are talisman for their team. So if you drop them on the national side, then you're causing a trouble. Cole Palmer. Now, if you drop these players, I'll agree with you with that one, but we'll still get to that. I'll agree with you that if you drop these people to the bench, then you're causing a problem for the team. Now, Andagula has not played up to 5 matches starting for Real Madrid.
Look at who is in front of him. He has Camavinga, he has Tchouaméni, he has Cruz.
He's playing from the flank.
He has a lot of people ahead of him. If you look at the flanks too, He has Vinicius, he has Rodrigo.
From the right, Rodrigo doesn't play well
He
from
has
the right. They have to
Vinicius
switch
and
Rodrigo
Rodrigo.
there. Rodrigo plays from
You
at
get
the
so
center
those
forward.
guys
So,
are ahead of him in the pecking order. But at least for Turkey coming in, having that starting bet, you can see the guy's potential. You can see his attacking prowess, the way he creates chances and also scores as well too. So for me, dropping him in that match, their midfield was a little bit flat. They didn't have creative mixture in that midfield to get chances and then to get something within a shout of getting a scoring opportunity. So that was not a wise one for me, if you ask me. Then you look at the two players they brought in to replace him, talking about Atokoglu and the other man. It wasn't a good mixture for me. So I think they need to go back to basics, which is playing the two midfielders there with him at that 10 position on the
They
flanks.
still had a fighting chance in that game after the first goal. They still pressured Portugal. They still did whatever they had to do to get the result until the second goal came in, the own goal. And I think that was where
but
they
it wasn't
lost.
good enough to
That
get
was
something on the
was
ball.
one of the worst own
That
goals
was where
they
they
have
lost
seen
confidence in themselves.
in football.
Well, I just have to say this. It's crazy when a team goes on to be the best on the pitch on paper. They go on to be the best on the pitch on paper and go into the pitch and not perform as well as they are on paper. That's what happened to the Turkish side on Saturday, and that's what happened to the Portuguese side in their first game. So now you say we have to make changes. The coaches have to just start now to make changes.
Talking about making changes, Belgium won 2-0 and they made that change. They brought in Talisman in the squad. They dropped some few players and made a few changes and they won that game 2-0. So now are they not part of now February, because this group is interesting. They all have 3 points. If they draw their last games, there will be 4 teams having 4 points.
Yeah,
so we should be
it
looking
will
at
not be an issue of goal difference.
Goal difference and who finishes best third in the group. So, but Belgium, they did their job. They won 2-0, John.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job, if you ask me. The change in that midfield, the change in the formation was required, and they made the moves, they made the changes they needed to, and they got the win. For me, I picked them as favorites to qualify from this group now. Hopefully, they can go ahead and get another result in their last match and then leave the group and qualify. But then it's what we look to see. Anything short of a win, and they would have been in a very bad position.
They will be out.
Yeah.
They will be out.
Then we're not saying this thing about this man that we've always criticized, not scoring goals, not getting good at the chances. Romelu Lukaku. But yesterday, he didn't score, but he got on the assist board as well. It tells you how his work ethics is. He's a player that could be versatile. He could run to the flanks and create chances for other people.
I think that the problem is that everything goes through De Bruyne.
Yeah.
So teams set up to just mark him out in the game. If you look at this game, everybody was trying. They even tried to mark him in that game, but which didn't work. He later scored in the 80th minute of that game. Yeah. So now De Bruyne, do you think that De Bruyne has what it takes to carry this team to the final? Because they need to. I think this is supposed to be his last tournament, in quotes. So he is the only part of the old generation. Him and Lukaku are probably last 2 stars in this generation. Do you think that both players now can take Belgium to the tournament, to the final of this tournament?
Now look at the performance of Yuri in that game.
Yeah.
Look at the performance of Yuri Telemann in that game. You say this is a player that could replace anybody anywhere as long as it comes to midfield play. You saw him do it in Aston Villa. He's doing it fantastically well now. You saw him do it, was it Leicester City as well? So he's a player that could replace De Bruyne anywhere. He's a player that could fight, create chances, defend. This is what they missed. This is what they lacked in their first game, in the opening games. And I was saying this, why is he on the bench? But look at, and yesterday or perhaps during the weekend, they dropped, what's it called? The attacking option they had.
Trossard.
Not Trossard. They dropped Trossard and they dropped the old man. The old man, they had to drop him as well. Carrasco.
Yeah,
they had to drop Carrasco. Now you saw that fluidity in attack. It was no longer old men running the game. It was young lads prepared to give their hearts to the games. That's what you need to look at. A proper mix of these two, experience and youth. And you saw them do it yesterday and they got a result.
Okay, don't forget, guys, you can join this conversation on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. We are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. We're also on Facebook at Volt 1043 FM. Okay, let's go to the Sunday's game. The the final game of the group, everybody plays the same time. So
Yeah.
this game was played 8 o'clock. The both two teams played 8 o'clock. Now Scotland are out. They're out of this tournament. They lost to Hungary by 1-0. They had a scare in that game where the striker collided with the goalkeeper and they had to stretch him off in the game. So, but Scotland are out. Do you think that this Scotland team, because everybody had high expectation, not the high expectation, but everyone expecting them to do well, because if you look at the kind of players they have, but throughout this game, they didn't even win one game, John.
Yeah, even some were expecting them to come out as maybe not second,
Maybe-
because
maybe
we look
third.
at maybe third, best third or something like that. I know you have something else to say, but it hasn't gone according to plan. Let's not forget that in that match they had a penalty shout that was denied, and then the coach has come out to say some very, very spicy things about the encounter. But I felt like they made that whole mistake from the jump, from the very first match, when you have the best players you have in your side playing in the defensive position rather than putting them in the right places to shine. Okay, look at somebody like a Scott McTominay starting and playing as a center half. How does that make sense to me? And so they dropped the ball in the beginning of the tournament and they haven't been able to recover since. We've seen a little bit flourishes when we look at the midfield and the way they played against the previous opponent, but their game against Hungary was the most hard-fought one. They were fighting down to the 100th minute to see if they could come away with something, but
I think
it
that was
didn't
their
come off.
performance. That was their best performance yet.
Yes.
That was their best. The first game, they kind of shot themselves in the foot, trying to defend, trying to get a point. And that was a mentality issue for them. They tried to get a point in that first game, but it didn't work out. But last night was where they gave it their go. Everybody was fighting. I saw Henry create chances.
Hungary scored almost last kick of the game.
That's what I'm
In the
saying.
90
Henry
10
created
minutes into the extra
chances.
time.
Henry created chances. Scotty created chances. Robertson created chances. And yet Shea Adams was just misfiring.
Oh, okay.
Crazy.
We are having comments on our YouTube. SNFI says Lukaku has not really got into this competition, but let's see how it goes. Everybody's talking about Lukaku because he is part of the senior players for Belgium. So he needs to start scoring goals. Just like Cristiano Ronaldo needs to start scoring goals.
Ronaldo doesn't need to score goals to prove
No,
anything
but he
wrong.
needs to score goals.
He
They need to
doesn't.
score
Definitely.
goals. They are
He needs to
strikers.
score
He
goals.
doesn't.
Let's not forget that this is one of the
Or Lukaku
strikers.
doesn't need to score goals.
Lukaku needs to score goal. He's, he's an out and out striker. Ronaldo is not. For Portuguese side, you see him play from the flank as well. He is not an out and out
Ronaldo
striker.
is a striker and he needs to get in on the goals.
Oh,
You know,
okay. Okay,
he's among the top 2 ranking international goal scorers for their national side as well. So he needs to get in on the goal.
Most of those goals came from midfield.
It's all right. The other game in that group was Switzerland versus Germany. It was a 1-1. Germany scored in the final like 2 minutes of that game to equalize in that game. So now both of them have qualified for the knockout stage. Now, do you think that Switzerland is the dark horse also? Because when looking at them, they're actually a good team because Germany has to fight for these points.
They're not getting past the quarterfinals.
Oh wow! Why?
They're not getting, no matter how
Like-
good they are. This is a team that just comes, play, get to the knockout stages, round of 16, quarterfinals, and they're out. They're not getting anywhere close to the
Euros
semi-finals.
the other Euros,
Quarterfinals.
they won France and they moved to the semi-finals.
Quarterfinals.
Oh, okay.
Quarterfinals. They lost quarterfinals to England. I think it was in round of 16. They beat France out. They lost the quarterfinals to England also, and England went on to the finals to lose against Italy. So they're not getting past.
So you are saying that Switzerland will not.
This round of 16, maybe they might just get past it. But this is the team that knows how to play a group stage game, but doesn't know how to play a knockout stage game.
John.
For me, if you look at the way they played Germany, they put up their best performance. They were almost running away with a win until Fukru was able to pull something out of their hats. So if you look at the Switzerland side, the way they are set up, they have a very good team on paper. It's now the mentality, it's now the tactics, how they want to play. Do they want to hold up the ball? Do they want to be on the break? How do they want to set up going against key opponents is what's going to determine. Because let's not forget, you get into the later stages of these competitions, you have top teams across Europe that you are going to be playing against. If they come up against a France, if they come up against an England side or a Spain side,
they beat France last tournament.
That's last tournament. Again with this conversation.
How
Again
about
with
those
this
days?
conversation.
Last 2020, when I was in the World, I think that was in the last
In the Euros 2020, he was there. Who was there?
What I'm saying is that again with this talk about history, let's leave history one side and let's look at present performances and what they are able to achieve. If they meet these big opponents, do they have what it takes to win? Do they have the striking power up front? Because me, I'm not convinced on Embolo up front. So where is that thing going to come from?
It's just
That's
about
where I
just
worry
us to
for
play
them.
90 minutes. You saw them after 70 minutes yesterday, they were just off. You see them going around, running around. They were just outplayed. They were off. I don't know what they were trying. They were trying to defend the one goal lead against a German
Yeah,
side.
they,
And
they
you
have
know,
to defend.
that-
No,
that
they have
no,
to
no,
defend.
that's
No,
not
that
it.
was not smart for me if you ask me, because
And remember, they had the goal ruled out
Okay,
for
Dija-
a foul in the build-up play. And you
Yeah.
say this is something, I don't know. VAR or perhaps whoever is there should just let these goals be.
yeah,
They should let these goals be.
Yeah,
It
if
could have
you
been
can-
two. It could have been 2-0.
Yes,
it,
yes.
it could have been
But
2-0.
after ruling out
True.
that goal, the German side woke up.
Okay, let's look at the German side. Everybody thought probably they are going to play their second team, but the coach didn't even bother. He played their first team, and as they played, do you think that the German team now they have qualified for the next round of this game? They have to wait for other teams to qualify to know their opponent. But do you think they are favorites? Because if you see the way they play, they have the crowd, the home crowd behind them. They have the team play. They have. You can see that they are playing with synergy. Do you think that they have what it takes now to win this tournament?
You have to put them as one of the favorites to win it. You have to put them as one of the favorites to win it. They have their flaws, no doubt, but they are strong favorites to win it. It all depends now on who they face in the later stages of the competition.
If you would just say they have their stronger fans, it's not about the fans no more because every other person has fan base.
No,
You
but
saw the
they have
Portuguese
They
game.
have the,
You
they
saw the
have
Portuguese
home-
game.
home
That
advantage.
was the highest number of fan or tickets sold in the Euro 2024 so far. The Portuguese game against Turkey, that was the highest number of tickets sold. Now, if they play the way they play against Switzerland, I swear to you, there is no way they're coming up the next
So
round.
you have to understand that every game you don't really play to 100% because sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't really work for you. So we still having comments on our YouTube channel. Ese Divine is saying, I agree with you, sir. It was the same performance they did in the Euro 2016, 2020. Also talking about Switzerland because they get to the knockout stage and somehow they just lose. And Emmanuel is saying the Switzerland team is the proof that stars don't win matches. It is a team that win. It is a team that wins matches. It's not stars that you say that it's not stars that having stars in your team doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win matches, but it's a team. So he's saying that Switzerland is a team, has a team. If you look at the way they play, truthfully, you can see that they actually have a team, and they have been playing with the same formation, three at the back, with Xhaka at the midfield controlling with their strikers, and they have been playing well. But let's hope that this time they will do one better for themselves because they have not really done well in the knockout stage of these Euros tournaments. Once they go to the Euros, they lose the game. Okay, today's game again, we have matches today by 8 o'clock. Everybody's playing at the same time. We have Albania versus Spain, 8 o'clock, and Croatia versus Italy. This is Group B. So let's talk about Spain. Spain have already qualified, but Albania can fight for that third position where if they win, they might qualify for that for the next round. So do you think Albania have the strength, John, to beat Spain in this game?
like it's a tricky one. I think Spain should have no problem winning this match.
They have 1 point. Croatia have 1 point. Then if Croatia wins this game, they have 4 points, they win. They qualify. If Albania wins this game, they have 4 points, they qualify. So do you think that Albania somehow can pull up this miracle? And also,
Thank God they call it a miracle.
it has to be a miracle.
Because now they have a fighting chance. They're looking for the third position now for the first group. We have Hungary sitting pretty well to qualify into the next stage.
We have
but we're not
Spain,
sure.
Italy.
For the first group
Okay,
that
for the
played
first group,
concluded,
okay.
Hungary is
Yes.
sitting third. So we're not sure who Hungary is going to be facing. Now for Albania, they're sitting third with just 1 point. Croatia gets the win against Italy, then they're out. So they have to put up the best of their fighting chances or the best of their fighting armor to go against Spain. So I think they have that fighting chance because it's not about the squad they're playing against now. It's about the spirit they are willing to put into the game. That armor, they are going to wear it and they want to finish third. So they know they do one ahead of Croatia and perhaps get into the later stages of the game. This is a team that
If they beat Spain, they qualify.
this is a team that has no, they don't.
They don't. So they still require the result.
They need the
of
result
other-
from the Turkish game. I'm sorry, the Italian game.
For
Yeah.
Italian
Italian and
game,
Croatia.
okay.
If that game ends in a draw and they win, then they qualify.
But my own is that if they win that game, John, no matter what happens in the other game, they probably have 4 points, so they will qualify at the best third. So they
But that's what I'm
qualify.
saying. They still have a long list of teams to qualify for best third. So they have to pick maybe out of 8 groups, they'll pick 4. Now we have Hungary. So far, we'll say Hungary has qualified as best third. Now on this group, now we have Albania as well. If they win, then going forward, then they now have to start doing a deduction, point deduction, and what's it called, goal difference calculation.
But for me, what I'm saying, if for example, if Albania wins, they have 4 points and they move out from the negative goal difference because they have -1. So any win puts them. So I think they have a fighting chance if they fight. Because the thing about these smaller countries is that they defend and allow the bigger teams to attack them. But I think that they need to take risk, and if they take risk, hopefully a miracle can happen. So the other game in that group is Croatia versus Italy. Croatia has 1 point and Italy has 3 points. So do you think that who do you think will qualify? Who do you think will win? Let's start with that.
I have a friend that said this. He said the team that did good in
Because those teams
2016.
are good teams.
Wait, he said the team that did good in 2016, the coach just came, shuffle that same team. He never even do calculation, he never even enter market, go see whether I get any player way better pass the ones ready for the team already. You just go there, carry them like that, add one more person, just like you going to the market to shop the same things every week. So it's the same thing the same squad they've been taking to competitions every month or every year. Go in, Luka Modric, Kovacic, Brozovic, Kramaric, all of them. And these people are most of the team. The average age of the team is about the oldest
Yeah,
age in
it's-
the competition is about 29 years for average. And other teams are playing an average team of 24, 26, mixing both. But in the Croatian side,
You have this age thing about this Croatia. You've been complaining about this Croatia.
it's becoming worse because you see other people put performance in. You see, at some point, I feel like okay, the English side is doing one better, perhaps because most of the players are below 25.
Okay.
60% of English players are below 25. In the Spanish side as well, you have that same range of players below 25. So they have that space, energy to play for 90 minutes plus. But in the Croatian side, bros, if you don't pass 60 minutes, everybody the whole waste.
But I don't think so. I just think it's a team play.
but then you also need to look at the quality of talent too that should be on the bench to bring them in. I think for me, if you look at the way Croatia play and the way the manager works with the team, he just likes working with people he knows and he trusts, irrespective of performances and other things. But that's where that could also hurt them too if they are not able to be adaptive.
Bros, Southgate works with people he believes and trusts. Now, the English side will play maybe tomorrow or so. Southgate has people he believes and trusts. Calvin Phillips is not on the list. Henderson is not on that list. Harry Maguire, of all people, is not on that list. James Maddison, for this current hero, is not on that.
Southgate is just breaking away from the trend in this competition.
Calm down now. I'm just
Let's
saying.
not forget
I'm
that
just-
he's on the last year of his contract.
I'm just
too,
saying.
so
You said something about
he's-
coach.
this is his
Coach moving with his favorite gang.
experiment competition.
Wait, now you said something about coach moving with his favorite gang. I'm just giving you a coach that has a favorite gang for the past 8 years or for the past 4
And
years.
he's just
yeah.
breaking
And
away
yet,
from that. He's just
He
breaking
broke
away from that
last
this
in
competition.
the World Cups. In the World Cups, I think Henderson didn't start most of the games. You
But he
remember
was
that?
in the side, he was in the squad. So how
Because there
is
was
that
another person-
different? How is that different?
Let's go back to
from-
Spain. We are now moving to England. No, we love English.
No,
team.
no, I'm just saying this Croatian. You asked the question about the Croatian side, so it's the same thing with the Croatian coach. This group of players have been with him since the 2016 Euros. 2018, it was this same starting lineup. 2020, the same starting lineup. Man, change something. There are players in the Croatian league that play better. Luka Modric is about 24, 20, I say 24, 34.
Number 36 now.
34, 36. Change, at least, even if not change him for 90 minutes. In Real Madrid, he plays only 30 minutes football. Why? Because he's aged. Toni Kroos does not run around that much. That's why they had to bring in Tchouaméni and Camavinga to perhaps understudy him. Bring in somebody to understudy him maybe this year and next year. Then from there, you can move him on and put that person permanently. Pasalic is on the bench. What's he doing on the bench? This player plays attacking football for Atlanta.
So who do you think that will win this game? Let's get your prediction because this game is very important for especially Croatia. Let me get your prediction, John. Who do you think wins this game?
For me, I want Croatia to win it.
So, Nonso,
For the likes of Ivan Perisic and Luka Modric and Brozovic, Croatia.
okay, in our YouTube
After
channel,
criticizing them.
I
said
just like the team,
how
no
that
less.
guy. I said the Vine is saying, I don't know the spirit that Albania will use to beat Spain. Don't forget, Croatia can still qualify. So okay, Emmanuel is saying, it's Emmanuel that actually said that. He said, I don't know the spirit that Albania will use to beat Spain, but they need to actually find the spirit somewhere and win that game. Esther Divine is saying Spain and Italy will go through from that group, but we still have a third position to fight for. So let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Copa America because they played their game last. They played by 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 11. So probably most people don't watch, but I saw the USA game, so we are going to talk about that game after this break.
Stay plugged into the flow. Follow Volt FM on Facebook at Volt 1043 FM. Let's vibe together.
Volt 104.3 FM.
All right, guys, welcome back. Don't forget to join us. Join this conversation on YouTube. We are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. We are also on Facebook at Volt 1043 FM. We are on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. So you can join the conversation, drop your comments. We're going to be reading all your comments live on the show. So the Copa America is ongoing. You know, for Nigerian time, they play 2 a.m. in the night, 1 a.m. in the night. So you have to stay in the morning. You have to stay awake to see those games. On Saturday night, Mexico won Jamaica 1-0. The other game is USA versus Bolivia. So let's talk about the USA game because they are the host nation. If I look at this USA team, John, they have enough stars. You know, I won't call them superstars, but they have stars in this team. So do you expect them to go all the way to challenge for this tournament? They are playing home, remember?
Yeah, they have a good crop of players. If you look at the likes of the ones we know, talking about the Christian Pulisic, and then talking about Timothy Weah and a couple of other names there. Yes, and then let's not forget Weston McKinney as well too.
Balogun is a star.
Yeah, so they've got a good crop of players, and they were able to put in a win, a 2-0 win, which is credit to them. I think they have a side. Let's not forget the man at the goalpost too, Matona.
Yeah, that's the former Arsenal player, yes.
So they've got some, and that guy actually had a good run in during his time there. So yes, and let's not also forget this man, this silent man, yet kind of deadly if you consider him son of the famed Claudio Reyna, talking about Gio Reyna too of Dortmund.
So, what do you think? Yeah. So they have what it takes to challenge for this. So because this team has not really performed well, and also if you look at most of their friendly games, they played lesser teams, so they probably was winning those games. But whenever they come to these major tournaments, they don't really do well. They have not actually won for their national team for a very, very long time. But now they are playing home now. So now, do you think that this team can surprise everybody in this tournament?
You know, one of the presenters, when I was seeing the game, said, now the aged players, the GOATs are leaving the stages. You have upcoming talents. And she mentioned that the players that could lead the stage to win the Ballon d'Or. And she said Ronaldo is leaving, Messi is leaving, all the top players are leaving. And she said people to take over, young players to take over. And she mentioned Pulisic, and the co-host laughed at her. It was a big laugh on the show that day.
I think he has potential, but injury has actually.
You don't mention the next rated, and put him on that list. When he was next rated was before he came to Chelsea. When he was at Dortmund. That's when you could put a player like that. A player in the 20s, 21, 22 is next rated. Once you're above 25, you're not next rated anymore.
Yeah,
Messi, Ronaldo, next rated were 19, 17. Next rated could be Meno and the rest.
Next rated could be Lamine Yamal now, under 21.
And Agula, that's the next rated, not Pulisic.
Yeah, then now over 25 years.
During this show, you mentioned they have stars, and you mentioned a name.
But they have stars.
You mentioned there was a name.
If you compare with other North American
No, wait. Don't go there. The Canadian side has more than they do.
Apart from
Canadian
that,
side just have
Wait
Jonathan
now.
David and
Canada,
Alfonso
even the
Davis.
even
What
the
are you
Jamaican
talking
side, even the
about?
Jamaican side, Antonio,
Please, let's not
Antonio
go
of West
there.
Ham. So I don't want to go
Who
there
is
now.
Antonio, please?
I don't want
Who
to go
knows
there now.
Antonio? Don't dare me
I don't want to go
trigger
there
right
now.
now.
Now, when you mentioned stars, they have stars, and I was expecting you to call a Rena or perhaps a team. What's it called Timothy Way,
Yeah.
and you went out of these two to mention a Balogun.
Okay,
Balogun
that was
was-
him. though.
Balogun
no, wait
of
now.
all people. God will
Balogun
know
was,
now.
was
God will
highly
know.
rated.
Highly rated by the Academy of Arsenal, by Arsenal's project,
If you are
not
talking-
by media in England or perhaps anywhere. Balogun of all people, come. You see, they play academy football now. If you call another person, at least you say you call Timothy.
But
We're not saying
he's
Papa na
not playing for
governor.
Monaco now, and he's playing well for Monaco.
How many goals does he have last season? He's playing as a striker, yes, for Monaco, yes. How many goals does he have?
But they trust him. He's still young. My problem is he's still young. He has the potential to be a superstar. I was hoping that Arsenal will keep him. Unfortunately for him,
Same here.
Arteta has different ideas what he wants to do. With
He
his
even did
striking
not
position.
call the likes of Weston McKenna playing
I
for.
call- I
no,
call
you
McKinney.
you said Rena. I was talking about Godwin. 4 stars in the team.
I
And
was
you're
talking about Weston McKinney. I called McKinney.
No, not you, Godwin. No, but last night's game was fun, man.
It was fun. I was
because-
awake to see that
because
game.
you saw them
Last-
outplay the Bolivian side that we don't actually know what the play style for Bolivia is. We just saw them running around trying to defend. Whenever they get the ball, they lob it up. And at some
Yeah.
point, we saw them build from the back, and I was like, is this a Bolivian side that wants to build? Are they now trying to be like a Man City or perhaps a Bayern Munich or a Barcelona? And that building from the back cost them the second goal. They didn't get to midfield, they lost the ball, and they were hit on the break, and that was where the second goal came in. And you say, this is the disadvantage, a big disadvantage of building from the back. Don't try
No,
it.
if you want to build from the back, you have to trust your players that they can play well from
They
the
trusted
back.
the players.
but-
Doku trusted himself, and look at what happened to Belgium in the first game. So that game, that building from the back, for some countries, for some clubs, it doesn't work because of the crop of players you have. These players are just players that like to dribble.
You need to also have players
You
that are
build-
comfortable with
you
the
build
ball
from
and
the
their
ball.
feet.
You
Yeah.
build from the back when you have players that have oversight of what's happening around them. The likes of Xavi that could scout 10 times before getting the pass and position himself well. You could build from the back if you have a Kobe Mino, a Casemiro, a Toni Kroos, and a Gundogan. You could build from the back. Not when you have a what's it called? A Declan Rice. At some point, you can't build from the back with Declan Rice because once he looks up, he's sending the forward pass or he's running with the ball. A Doku, you can't do that. So I think that was what hurt them in the second goal, and they got mixed in a lot, and they were complaining that they would define the build up to that goal, but the referee overlooked it and gave the goal to USA, and that was a fantastic win for the US side.
So USA, looking at this game, USA have what it takes to actually go far in this tournament.
Calm
right?
down, you never reach.
They never reach.
They never reach.
Okay, we still have comments on our YouTube channel. SC Divine saying USA will leave this competition at the round of 16. They don't have the thick skin to go far. So SC Divine is thinking that USA will not go far. He's agreeing with Nonso. And Emmanuel is saying all these names you just listed, John, they no fit win at all. they don't even reach semi-finals.
Let's see. You never know.
You never know. Okay, let's open the phone lines. The numbers to call is 0706 048 5853. The numbers to call 0706 048 5853. When you call us, tell us your opinion on this case we have talked about. The other game that was played yesterday, your favorite team for this tournament, Nasu.
Bolaji now, all these ballers.
Uruguay versus Panama, they won 3-1. It was an expected win because, come on, this is Panama.
Yeah.
Who knows
Who
Panama?
knows
So,
Panama?
Who don't know Panama?
who knows Panama?
People know Panama. We won't go there for holiday next week.
So, they are your favorite team for this tournament. So, let me start
They are
with you.
one of my favorite teams
One of
for
your
this.
favorite friends now. So,
So, look
so
at this-
how do you see that game? Do you think that
Do you see the synergy between if to say that guy is a bit score goal for like Campbell and he plays for
Nunes.
Liverpool, so I can't like
Nunes,
it.
Nunes, he can score 1 goal and miss 20 chances?
He can miss 50 chances
50, like,
and just get 2 assists.
and funniest part that the goal that he will score is going to be like out of this world. Then
Yes.
he misses a
He
simple
scores-
goal.
he
And
scores a
suddenly he
worldie.
scores a world.
But you're seeing a different trend now in the sense that he's getting in on the goals with the national side, but struggling.
Getting in on the goals, 1 goal in 90 minutes.
Yeah, he's
No,
getting
now.
a goal. He got a goal in the last match. He's got a goal here. That's a trend.
Because Suarez don't give her advice.
That's a trend. This is a trend. and
Because
you
Suarez
can't-
don't give her
come on,
advice.
let's-
You know the picture they took when they arrived camp for training. He was giving the number 19 shirt, and Suarez was giving the number 9 shirt, and they took a picture together. And Suarez used his hand to cover the 1, so it was showing 9 and 9.
Okay.
So to tell you that even if I'm wearing the 9 because I'm a senior man, you know, go, he's the main 9, and that's why Suarez is playing from the bench, and it's perhaps maybe he's here to help Darwin grow, then to help him hit the target properly. Because this guy is a player that he could dribble, he could create chances, he could be the next Harry Kane, but he cannot score goals, and it's a problem for him. But in the national team, you're seeing him play with different crops of players, and you're seeing him learn from one of the, we call him the fox in the box,
Yeah.
the best fox in the box so far. Suarez,
Luis
Suarez, and now he's learning to score goals as well, which means if he could learn all of that and bring it back to the Liverpool side, we could see a different Darwin in.
Maybe
In the coming
Slot
season.
might have other ideas in his striking, so he might not
Eh,
even
eh,
No,
start.
no,
but-
and slot might not, because look at there's this Cody who you know can play. There's this thing what's it said? Carragher said, he said in big games he's playing like he's on slow motion. We saw that happen against Man United in the FA Cup. You're playing against a Man United, don't be playing on slow motion. So Cody cannot bench him, you know that, because Cody is not as spacey as he is, cannot create small chances than goals. So we'll stick with those two for now. Up front, we'll stick with those two. Then maybe the likes of Luis could leave the club, maybe could leave the club, or perhaps could start, or perhaps would be on the bench for what's it called, Jota.
Yeah.
But for the Uruguayan side, now this is a proper starting 11. You saw the likes of Maximiliano, Fukando. They were giving out the best performance they could give yet. You understand?
Let's not forget
Maximiliano
this man too,
and-
Aruko too.
Even this your
Barcelona.
police.
No,
that
but
your-
that's why I called this name. I said Maximiliano and Fukando, Pellistri.
Pellistri.
Now in their back, in
Yes,
midfield, they
Pellistri.
got set. Well, you know where it's set now for that midfield. Baba, they candidate, they organize things.
Yeah, that's you got, and let's not forget Ugarte too.
Okay.
So they have a really good squad. They should be.
So when I say they are
Contenders.
favorites to win it, I think if they could go on with this synergy and this unity in the team, they could hurt Argentina and Brazil and get the trophy.
So you think that they have what it takes to win this tournament?
Definitely, yes.
It is. Okay, we still have comments about this particular game. I said the Bayern said Nunes needs to work on his finishing ability. That's always his.
He's learning. He's
Yeah.
learning from Suarez. This, if you
He's
see this
learning from-
competition, he's learning from Suarez. This competition, see as they play, you're gonna say they learn.
Who
He has
know
learnt-
when the season starts?
Yeah,
Actually.
and he's also saying he's saying that Nunes needs to work on his finishing ability. I guess what Suarez is doing, giving him advice, is a good thing for me. Do you understand? I think Suarez is trying to get him, because if you compare Suarez and Nunes, the gap is too much.
Sure.
If you look at, even I think they are similar players. The difference that Suarez has an intelligence to finish the ball.
He
But
knows
Suarez-
with a
another
blindfold, he
thing
knows
is-
where the goal is.
Suarez can create opportunities out of nowhere, out of nothing. He's an explosive player. So anything,
He's explosive.
yeah, like
He has space, he has space to trouble any defender.
Oh
But
my God.
he will burn all those space, and once he reaches in front of the goalpost, the crowd is catching the ball. So I don't understand. Okay, Emmanuel is also saying that Nunes can never ever be the next Harry Kane. So
I'm not saying he's the next
he cannot
Harry
be
Kane.
Harry
I'm
Kane,
just
because if
saying
you
he
look at
cannot score goals.
Both of their finishing is not possible.
He cannot be the next
cannot.
Harry Kane, but he can be better.
He can
If
be
he-
better.
he can be better if he learns to score goals.
Yes, if he polishes his finishing
Yeah.
touches or more.
So he needs to go back. He needs
is
to go back,
a
because
player.
if you hit the streets now and ask players to choose between their favorite, and you put an Harry Kane and a Luis Suarez, everybody on the streets will take a Luis Suarez
Straight
over
up.
Harry Kane.
Straight
It's
up.
anything you would think of, because he's slicky in the box. He can also drop to midfield and create chances. So
Okay.
this is a player Nunes should be playing like.
Okay, guys. The other game to be played today, 11 p.m. I keep switching this time. 11 p.m. is Colombia versus Paraguay. So, what is the prediction for that game? Because Colombia is when it comes to South American League, they are a good side too, including their opponents. So, let's just get your prediction up for that game.
For me, I'm going to edge it towards Colombia in this one because I haven't seen a lot of the Paraguayan side. Let's see how it goes, but I think Colombia should have what they need to.
No, so.
win it.
Paraguay all the way for me, because these people can defend. If you look at the starting lineup, most of the players they have are defenders. So get a draw, you are good to go.
Okay, the next game, that one happens 2 a.m. this morning. this morning or tomorrow morning. 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. And it's Brazil, the big one, Brazil versus Costa Rica. Now, Ronaldinho came to the press conference because he later said that he didn't say anything, but he earlier said that he couldn't recognize this Brazilian team, that everybody here they are mid players. Like you looked at when we saw the list of when they did their call up, we saw the list. We couldn't actually see. We could see players playing for West Ham. Is their superstar now? Players playing for sports.
I don't think we have any West Ham players in the Brazil national team.
What are you saying?
What are you
It's
saying?
Aston Villa. It's Aston Villa, not West Ham United.
Paqueta.
What is
Lucas
Paqueta?
Paqueta,
Paqueta is their
Paqueta.
superstar.
Okay.
He's
There's
one of their star players.
Douglas Lewis. Nobody's
You
talking
are
about Douglas Lewis.
denying Paqueta now. This man.
He's not going to play. He's facing
It's
charges
fine.
now. He's facing
It's
charges
fine.
so far, so he's not going to be playing maybe. But look at it now. Everybody will criticize the Brazilian side so far. Every legend that comes through that rank will criticize the Brazilian side. But there's a Vinicius Junior.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
an Hendrick. There's a
I
Rodrigo.
think what
Wait,
Ronaldinho was trying to say
look at
is
it.
that
Look at it. Look at
in
it
terms
now.
of quality, the quality have dropped very well.
And again, let's not forget
The
style
Pele
of play.
first World Cup, that World Cup with Pele win. Who named? Do you know they had to call them the handicap squad? I saw a movie where they say the story about that the whole team. They had to say a movie, and the nickname for that squad was the handicap squad. You know why? Everybody has a deficiency in that squad at that time. One player from that team has one deficiency or the other. One person's hand was like this. The other person had an accident that they had to chop off his fingers. The other person had an accident they had to chop off some part of. So for some reason they called them handicaps. And they went on to what? They went on to win.
World Cup for life assist.
Calm down now. They went on to win the World
But
Cup
if you
that
ask
year
me-
and the other competitions after not going to the World Cup for like after maybe losing out on the World Cup for like 2 years in a row. In that year, that Pele's first year, they went on to win the World Cup after being tagged the handicap squad. And it was a nickname given to Pele, not even his name. It was him used in abusing him. And look at what happened. So don't take it away from this Brazilian side. Everybody is saying they are not good enough. Everybody, every media personnel is saying they are not good enough. The Argentine side is better.
But it's the fact. It's not
But
that.
now look at it. The Argentine side better. The Argentine side is also aged.
Okay.
Now you get the point now. The Argentine side is better. The Argentine side is aged. The Brazilian side are doing something the Peles did, or the coach for Pele did in the 1960s, where he had to bring in 16-year-olds from the leagues, from domestic leagues, and mix them with foreign players. Many of the players in the Brazilian side came from West Ham, Real Madrid, Aston Villa, in the British, in the European League. Now we have 7 of those players in that squad, or perhaps 6 of those players in that squad from the domestic leagues. Maybe 3 of them will be moving to Europe next year because one of them, William Esteban
Chelsea.
Williams is going to Chelsea. Hendrick is going to Real Madrid.
Let's
And
not
the other person will be
forget,
going. Lewis will be going to West Ham.
Ham, yeah.
So these are 3 players that will be moving in the summer so far. But these are still players that played the last season in Brazil, which was the same thing that happened in 1960s or so when they won their World Cup. So I'm just telling them. I'm just saying it could be different this year. So rate them below the Argentine side so far, but yet it could still be different this year.
So you think that they are favorites? Brazil are always part of one of the favorites.
They will always be favorite on paper, but let them put that performance on the pitch. Let's see.
Okay. So what's your prediction for that game, John?
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Brazil. Let them put their work in and let's see how it goes.
Make the go guys show working. Costa Rica no be smarting. The guys show workings.
Okay, they have to show their working. So we are all expecting Brazil to win that game tomorrow. That game is 2 a.m. tomorrow. So let's move to Nigerian MPFL. The final game of the season was played yesterday. Everybody played by 4 o'clock, where Rangers was officially crowned the champions of Nigeria. So they won that game by 2-1. So I'm going to be calling out the other results that was played yesterday. Gombe United 1, Rangers International 2. Aqua United 3, Rivers United 1. Kano Pillars 1, 3-2 to Lobi Stars. Kwara United 4, Heartland 0. Bendel 0, Bayelsa United 2, Romy Stars 2, Katsina United 1. Niger Tornadoes 2, Sunshine Stars 1. Enyimba at Enyimba Stadium 1-2-0 against Plateau United. Shooting Star 1, Sport Lagos 0. Doma United 1, Abia Warriors 1. So let's talk about the Rangers game. They won. Yeah, I was surprised that they won their away game. But you hardly see teams. Few times you see teams go away and win, but he has to say that Gombe are bottom on the table.
Yes.
They lost their last 5 games before that game, but it was still a good performance for Rangers to crown the whole season with a sweet performance.
And it's a good performance, good win, good 3 points. Now they are sitting pretty at the top with 70 points. Yes,
which is nice.
Which is at least.
And also calm down. That's your eye. Okay.
No, you're saying it's nice. I'm looking at you, 70 points.
Yeah, but then don't use somebody's first chapter to judge another person's 200 chapter.
I'm not just judging any chapter. I'm just saying you don't say it's nice. You say there is room. I always say this. There is room for improvement.
Sure,
so don't say it's nice.
It's better than winning 66 points.
It's nice because Rangers scored an early goal, 3 minutes. For 2 early goals, 3 minutes and 7 minutes, where they scored those both goals.
But then this is what you expect because Gombe United are already relegated. What do they have to play for? It's just basically playing for pride right now. And they join the likes of Heartland of Owerri, Doma United and Sporting Lagos, that are relegated.
Now, it was a shame for, Sporting Lagos, after so much performance, after so much media presence, to end up being relegated. This was the team that was the best. Was not be always present tense now. Was the best in the NNL last 2 seasons. They came into the MPFL with a fight.
But you have seen that. Look at what Burnley did with English Premier League last season. They almost broke the points in Championship and they come to the English Premier League and they were relegated.
So I think you have to give it to them. They gave up that fighting chance, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah,
it wasn't enough. So Rangers, what do you think they need? Because Rangers are now playing CAF Champions League next season.
Yes.
So
Rangers
that means most African teams will be coming to. And what do you think they need to do, John, to improve that team? Do they need to buy more players, or probably what do they need to do to improve? Because they need to improve for them to do something in the CAF Champions League.
Yeah, you need to invest in the team, no doubt. You need to invest in. I'm looking at that defense and midfield. Okay, you need to.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Name and location, please. Bishop from Transekulu. What's your thought? Thank you. Yeah, congratulations to us. Okay.
Then last night, I watched. Don't know whether other people watched Granny Xhaka last night. This is left now. Go. Look at what this guy is doing. What is it again? This reminds me of the stage again. How can Arsenal let this guy go to replace him with Rice? Rice is not bad, but Xhaka surprised me last night. No wonder he left Arsenal to win a league in Germany. He has been doing this in the midfield. Understand? When he got a yellow card, look at that. Xhaka will finish his game with this yellow card, and nothing will happen. And Xhaka did not disappoint me. Even though I was disappointed, I wasn't meant to win. I supported them to win Germany last night. They tried their best, they did well, but finishing second was not bad. In fact, they equalized in 90+4. But congratulations to them for qualifying. I just wish they would go better. But we are lifting the trophy, Ronaldo's FC, aka Portugal.
Okay,
the trophy coming home again. Understand? The trophy is coming home again.
All right.
Well done. All right. Thanks.
Thank you for your contribution. He talked about Xhaka in that team. Xhaka has been, even for Liverpool, even for Arsenal, he was saying that how can Arsenal let that player go? I thought the same too, because the way he played that first season at Arteta, when we almost won the league, Arsenal almost won the league, then Arsenal had to let him go. Then look at what he's doing with Switzerland too. He said he is a team Ronaldo. He's expecting Portugal to win that tournament.
Well, now look at. I don't want to go back to that Xhaka conversation, but some people will not agree with me.
Let's leave Xhaka.
Some people will not agree with me. So let's not go there. Let's not go there. What's happening now is the surprise for me this weekend was the Aqua United game, because we know Rivers United had all it takes to seal a win there, but going there, it's just their neighbor. You don't have much jet lag traveling. You had these people. This used to be your training ground when you were building your stadium. When you're innovating, this used to be your training ground. How would you not go there and allow the atmosphere overwhelm you? it became a problem for them, and I don't like it when teams travel and have an excuse of atmospheric pressure.
Okay.
Understand? And they lost that game. But for Fidelis Lechuku, I said this before on this show. I said if a coach is good, give him finance and give him support.
Okay, Rangers have qualified. They qualify for the CAF Champions League. Remo Star, that was a surprise for everybody. They have the second slot. The other two slots with Enyimba and Shooting Star. Congratulations to all these 4 teams representing. I hope, because it's been a while, a Nigerian team did well in the CAF. In any CAF competition, they most times go first round qualifying, they out. They go to the group stage, they don't even qualify after the group stage. So let's hope that this time these 4 teams will make us proud. Okay, guys, remember that the trophy is coming to Enugu today, and the parade is at Opera Square by 4 p.m. So let's come out and support our team. Let's come out and cheer Rangers. The party starts by 4 o'clock, and let's come out in mass. Even if there is the rain, let's come out. We can rejoice, we can celebrate under the rain. Come on, guys. So let's come out at Opera Square by 4 p.m. and cheer our guys for winning the Nigerian Professional League. Okay, guys, this is how I'm going to be ending this show. Thank you for all your contributions, all our guys at YouTube. Remember, you can also follow us at Facebook at Vote 1043 FM. Go there, we have lovely things for you to watch there. And on YouTube, we have an amazing content for you. Most of the Euros games we preview, then preview and post-match analysis. Go there, watch. Please, like. Please, subscribe. Please, share no, because everyone like, subscribe and share. Our channel is Vote FM Sports. My name is Godwin. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage.
Take a break and enjoy the show.